Hello, and welcome to Street Smart, a program that aims to teach you how to be smarter, safer resident. I'm Officer Juan Vasquez, and I'll be your host for this episode. Today, we're focusing on the widespread and extremely serious issue of prescription drug abuse in the United States. Almost half of American households have a prescription for one or more medications, and even if they take them according to doctor's orders, just having them in your house can contribute to the problem of abuse. Within the United States, nearly 4 billion prescriptions are filled each year. This makes up 80% of the entire world's prescription painkiller consumption. Each year, roughly 60 million Americans over the age of 12 abuse prescription drugs. Opioid abuse alone accounts for more than 9.2 million prescription abuse cases each year. Because of this, 7 out of every 10 overdose deaths in America are directly related to opioid abuse. In fact, in January 2021, drug overdose deaths in the United States exceeded homicides by 300%. So where do the drugs come from? According to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, prescription drug abusers get their substances from family and friends. You can help solve the problem by understanding what constitutes prescription drug abuse and taking measures to curb it. Let's go over some of the key characteristics that define prescription drug abuse. Warning signs include taking medicine that was prescribed for someone else. This includes both being given and stealing medication from friends or family, such as painkillers or sedatives. Taking more medicine than you're supposed to take in one dose. Taking medicine in a different way than your doctor prescribed, such as crushing up pills or inhaling them through your nose. Using medicine for non-medicinal purposes. Taking drugs just to get a high and not for any personal medical need is a clear sign of a drug problem. Anything can be dangerous when put into the wrong hands with the wrong intentions. This is why properly securing, monitoring, and disposing of your own use or expired medications are the first steps in reducing prescription drug abuse. Let's look at a few easy ways you can do this at home. By following the simple guidelines, you can do your part in helping to reduce prescription drug abuse. The first and most important step in safeguarding your prescription is to secure them. Consider putting a lock on any cabinets or drawers that contain your prescription medication. A combination safe is another great method of securing your drugs if you're unable to install locks on your cabinets. If you're unable to do either of those, make sure your prescriptions are not kept in places people would expect to find them, such as the bathroom cabinet or a kitchen drawer. Instead, keep them out of sight in your bedroom or other non-traditional medication locations in your home. Also, be sure to monitor your prescriptions. Be thorough in making sure all drugs are accounted for and the correct amount is present in each container. It is much less assuming for someone to steal a pill or two than to have an entire bottle go unaccounted for. Keep all your pills in the original bottle or package to help you remember how many each bottle holds and to help you keep track of expiration dates. Also, keep an overall list of all the medications that you have in your home. If you have many different prescriptions, it's easy to lose track of one without having some sort of master list. Finally, dispose of unneeded medications properly, even if they are already expired. Make sure to always check expiration dates on your prescriptions every 6 months and throw out all medicine. This should be done at official drop-off locations, either at your local pharmacy or community drug take-back locations. Disposal can sometimes be done at home by mixing your drugs with hot water to dissolve them, then mixing them with undesirable substances, such as coffee grounds or cat litter. Then just place them in your household trash can. Never dispose of any drugs in your sink or down your toilet. These substances are dangerous for the environment and can leak into natural water sources and contaminate them. Make sure to also look for drugs in places you may have forgotten. These locations include gym bags, vehicle compartments like center consoles, glove boxes, and under car seats, refrigerators, bedside tables, clothes pockets, junk drawers, office drawers, purses, or backpacks and briefcases. When disposing of your prescription drugs, it is vital that you do this safely and correctly. One way is to drop them off at the Vienna Police Department during the National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, held every April and October at participating law enforcement police stations all over the country. Through this event alone, nearly 400 tons of unused or unwanted medications are collected and properly disposed of nationally each year, including hundreds of pounds of medication here in Vienna.
We got it?
Yeah, I think that's good.
And then we just tape it around the bottom?
Yeah, any box, whichever fancies you, let's put it in there. And you can throw the whole bag if you want. And yeah, no problem. We're gonna incinerate this whole thing. Today we have the 24th National Drug Take Back. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you, ma'am? Hi, how are you, ma'am? Any of the boxes that you want to put the medication, you're welcome to.
You'll recycle.
Everything is incinerated. All of the police departments across the nation are helping take medications out of the streets that are unused or expire and control substances that could lead to some kind of opioid crisis. You know, people get a hold of these medications and use them, so we collect them. It's always on April and October, twice a year, from 10 in the morning to 2 p.m.
It's a lot, isn't it?
The DA is a federal agency, so this is nationwide effort. So it's not just going to be the state of Virginia. State of Virginia has their own numbers of how much they collected, but every state's going to have the same thing, and it's a nationwide effort. So everyone's doing it at the same time in the United States. I would say normally we collect around anywhere from 200 to 300 pounds of unused medications. Pretty much all kind of medications, any pill forms, or it could be anything that's in, it could be a liquid or things like that. They just got to be closed in a jar or something like that. Thank you so much. Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you. How syringes are you taking?
Are there enough, like an EpiPen, or how are they?
No, they are, but they're in containers, but...
The only thing we don't take are needles. There's an exception, the EpiPens, they normally come in a case, so we can take those, the EpiPens, but no other kind of needles are allowed to be brought. But you have to put it in a very rigid container, you have to mark it what it is. So normally like fabric softener containers are really rigid, and then you take the label out and you write there's a biohazard in it. Then you tape the lid on it, make sure that's completely sealed, and then you put it with regular trash, and it avoids anyone getting injured with the needles. But any kind of pill or anything like that, control or not control, you can bring it and it's anonymous. We don't really ask for any information, just drop it off and we'll take care of that for the citizens for free. Hey, how are you guys? At 2 o'clock, right at 2, we stop collecting. All the medications are going in the vehicle behind me. The vehicle is normally pretty full when we transport, and then we drive to the Virginia State headquarters where there's going to be all the police departments lining up over there to drop off their medications. It's going to be weighed. They're going to tell us how much we collected and how many bags we dropped off for control. And they put them in a huge trailer that's waiting there, and the trailer will drive to the secure location where it's going to be incinerated and disposed of safely. And it's a special incinerator that doesn't pollute the environment like a regular burning. Pounds will be 200 to 300 pounds, sometimes maybe a little more if you're lucky. Bags, it fluctuates from 12 to 18, maybe 20 bags, so it just depends. The dates, it's kind of halfway gone. We have probably like around 8 or 10 bags already. There's 2 more inside. So this is about average for the event.
You just open up, pour the medication in, pour some warm water, shake it, and then it's safe to toss in the trash.
Fairfax County sent a representative to hand out deactivation kits. So it's basically a kit that allows you to put medication in it, and it mixes with the medication and deactivates the medication. And basically you pour some water in it and it makes it unusable, and then it's safe to put in the trash.
Wasn't that a brilliant idea?
So in case you don't want to come out to the event or you can't, that's an option. And you can take one home if you need to deactivate drugs and put them in regular trash, you can. If you flush them down the toilet, they're going to end up in the sewer system that ends up in the bodies of water. So it could end up in a river, it could end up in the ocean nearby, and it could affect, the ecosystem. Hi, how are you, ma'am? There's permanent drop-off collection sites. So Fairfax County, all their police stations are permanent drop-off. So any time of the year that you have those medications, you don't want to wait till April, October, go to any of the substations. McLean, Reston, Sully, Franconia, any of them are permanent drop-offs. our police station in the town of Vienna is not a permanent drop-off, but there's also information on the Fairfax County website. If you Google Fairfax County disposal of medication, it'll give you a barcode that you can scan, and it'll give you all the locations where you can do drop-offs all year round. Ma'am, do you need help? I can take that from you. Thank you so much. A lot of times people have relatives that have been sick. You know, cancer is something that's brought up a lot. People would talk to me about why they have all this medication and how they were looking for a way to dispose of it safely, and they'll eventually talk about what's going on in their life and tell me how they came about all that medication. So it's a nice way to connect with the citizens too and get to know what's going on with them.
My father passed away, and
Oh,
I
no,
have
I'm so
got.
sorry.
It's fine, but I've had all these.
Yeah, the DEA website is the best place to go. This is a DEA event. It's the 24th event of this kind that they have. So make sure you go to DEA.gov, and that's where you can look up information about the next drug take back and the locations where you can drop off the medications, and they have a ton of information out there. Now that you know the importance of proper prescription drug maintenance, security, and disposal, you can begin to help reduce the likelihood of unknowingly contributing to the prescription drug abuse problem. From drug take-back events to everyday drop-off locations such as participating pharmacies or Fairfax County police stations, you can do your part to keep prescription drugs out of the hands of abusers. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Street Smarts.